Okay, so you know how sometimes you open up a company profile and it feels like you need a decoder ring and a dictionary just to get through the first paragraph?
Oh, tell me about it. It's like they're trying to win a jargon competition instead of, actually explaining what they do.
Right. But today's deep dive is on a company called CorporateServe Solutions. And their profile, well, it's got some real curiosity sparking stuff buried beneath the buzzwords.
Oh, really? What caught your eye?
Well, first off, they're based in both India and the US, working with everyone from car companies to schools. Talk about a wide reach.
Ambitious. So, what are we trying to figure out about them today?
We're on a mission to decode CorporateServe. What do they actually do? And more importantly, why should anyone care?
All right, so right off the bat, they're not calling themselves a regular IT company. They're using this phrase business transformation partner, which is a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, it's like they're saying, we don't just install software, we revolutionize your entire approach. And a big piece of that seems to be their cozy relationship with Microsoft. They've even earned that fancy Microsoft Gold certification.
And that's not easy to get. It means they've proven they can handle the technical stuff, they've got happy customers, and they're doing a lot of business in the Microsoft world.
Okay, so they're Microsoft masters, got it.
Yeah.
But here's where things get interesting. They're not putting all their eggs in the Microsoft basket. They also work with SAP and Epicor systems. They even have completely separate teams for SAP's public and private cloud solutions.
Shows they're adaptable, which is smart. They're not limiting themselves to just one technology, and in today's world, that flexibility is huge.
For sure. And speaking of adapting, they keep mentioning Power Platform integration, which sounds like a mouthful. What's the big deal with that?
So imagine giving your team the power to build their own apps, automate all those boring, repetitive tasks, and analyze data all without needing to be coding whizzes. That's Microsoft's Power Platform.
Okay, I'm listening.
CorporateServe is positioning themselves as the guides who can make that happen for businesses. They're not just setting up the software, they're empowering their clients to build their own WN solutions.
So instead of just giving you the tools, they're teaching you how to build whatever your business needs.
Exactly. They're adding value beyond just the initial setup, which is a smart move.
Totally. And this is where things take an interesting turn. They have their own software products, and we're not talking little add-ons here. We've got CS Docs, CS Connect, even something called MetalSoft, which honestly, I have no idea what that is.
Right. Makes you wonder what's going on there.
Yeah,
It tells us they're not content with just being the middleman. They're actively trying to solve problems and build their own solutions. That's kind of cool.
it really is. Makes you think, are these side projects or part of some master plan? One that really stood out to me was Booksoft. They made software specifically for the publishing industry, which is a tough nut to crack.
Especially since they're tackling royalty management, which is notoriously complicated in the publishing world. If CorporateServe's confident enough to offer a solution for that, it tells me they're not afraid of a challenge.
Right. How did they even get into that? Were publishers banging down their door? Or did they see a gap and go for it?
Good question. But let's shift gears for a second and talk about this visual they have for their One Microsoft approach. They dedicate a whole page to this diagram, so it's obviously important to them.
It's a doozy of a diagram, that's for sure. It's like they're trying to be the glue that holds the entire Microsoft universe together. Windows Server, Exchange, SharePoint, even LinkedIn and Skype for business. Full integration is the goal.
Yeah, and they're really pushing the single sign-on and better security angles with this visual.
Is that just them hopping on the latest security buzzword bandwagon, or is there something to it?
It's a little of both, honestly. Security is a big deal for everyone these days, especially with so many people working remotely and all the cloud-based systems.
Right, makes sense.
But they're also thinking ahead. As businesses rely more and more on these interconnected systems, the need for good security and simple access is only going to get bigger. CorporateServe is putting themselves out there as the experts to call when that happens.
So they're not just selling software, they're selling peace of mind.
Exactly.
Clever. So we've established working with a ton of different companies, Big UT, who's their ideal client. Their company profile lists everything from automotive to NGOs, but that selected customers section is surprisingly bare bones.
That's what I thought was interesting. It's like they're being intentionally vague. Could mean they haven't found their niche yet and are open to working with anyone and everyone.
Or, and this is just me thinking out loud, maybe they don't want to seem too specialized and scare off potential clients.
That's a good point. It's a tough balance.
Yeah.
You want to showcase your expertise, but also cast a wide net.
Right. But here's what I find interesting. They may be vague about specific clients, but they get super detailed about how their projects are organized internally. There's a whole diagram showing everyone's roles and responsibilities.
And they emphasize collaboration and clear communication throughout the entire process,
So it's like they're saying, trust us, we've got a system and it works.
basically.
Okay, we've covered a lot here. Their expertise, their products, their whole philosophy, even tried to figure out their perfect client.
It's given me something to think about. Given everything we just talked about,
Mhm.
their Microsoft expertise, those interesting products aimed at specific industries, what kind of problem would make you pick up the phone and call CorporateServe?
That's the million-dollar question, right? It's not like they're, I don't know, curing cancer or building spaceships. It's more like, hold on, let me put on my business owner hat here. What's keeping me up at night?
Exactly. What's the biggest headache you're facing?
Okay, I've got it. Imagine I'm running a publishing house, manuscripts piled up, authors hounding me, that one guy who's always emailing about his royalties.
Sounds like you could use some of that booksoft magic we were talking about.
Right. Or say I'm running a manufacturing company, maybe in the automotive industry.
Yeah.
We're trying to modernize, go global even, but our systems are about as flexible as a brick wall. Data's all over the place, and I'm pretty sure one wrong click could expose us to a cyber attack.
Yeah, that's a recipe for disaster.
Exactly. That's when I'd be calling CorporateServe, practically begging them, help, my business feels like it's held together with string and chewing gum. I need someone who speaks tech and, human.
You nailed it. CorporateServe seems perfect for those businesses feeling the growing pains. They know tech is the key, but need someone to guide them through it.
Like the Sherpas of the software world.
I was going to say trail guides, but I like your style better. And the interesting thing is, they're not pushing a one-size-fits-all solution. Remember that whole business transformation partner thing? They're really emphasizing the customized approach.
Totally. It's all about understanding the client's problems, their goals, and then figuring out which tools will get them there. They even highlight their process expertise alongside their tech skills. It's like they're saying, hey, we get the business side too, not just the ones and zeros.
Exactly. And that's a powerful message, especially for businesses feeling overwhelmed by how fast technology changes. It's CorporateServe saying, we understand and we can help.
So we're looking at a company straddling two worlds, really. You've got that fast-paced, cutting-edge tech world, especially within Microsoft, and then you've got the world of business strategy and problem solving. They're kind of
Wow.
like that friend who speaks the language, the one you call when you're in a foreign country, and your phrase book just isn't cutting it.
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
They can translate the tech jargon, smooth talk the locals, and make sure you don't accidentally order like squid ink pasta when what you really want is a burger.
That's a great analogy. It really shows the value of having a partner like CorporateServe on your side. They're not just there to make a sale. They want to guide you through this whole digital transformation thing and make sure you come out ahead.
Right. They're the Sherpas, A&D, the translators, all in one.
Two metaphors in one episode. You're on a roll. But seriously, looking at their company profile this closely, it's clear that CorporateServe has big goals. They aren't satisfied with just being another IT consulting firm.
They're out there building their own solutions, focusing on specific industries' needs, and really establishing themselves in the Microsoft world.
And in such a crowded field, you need that kind of drive to stand out. It'll be interesting to see what they do next. Do they go all in on those products they developed? Do they become the ultimate Microsoft experts?
Who knows? But that's what makes these deep dives so much fun. We've uncovered clues about where they've been, where they are now, and maybe even gotten a glimpse of where they're headed.
Like a good mystery, right?
Exactly. Except instead of a detective, we have a company profile.
And maybe a few more metaphors.
Always. But speaking of mysteries, we've definitely still got some questions about CorporateServe.
That's the whole point. We've given you the information, the insights, and hopefully a few laughs along the way. Now it's up to you to decide what it all means.
So if you're facing a challenge in your business, something that feels like it needs a tech solution, maybe CorporateServe has the answer.
Or maybe this deep dive made you think about your own business. Are you using technology to its fullest potential? Could you use a partner who understands tech A&D, the business world?
Those are the questions that keep us up at night. Well, not really up at night, but you know what I mean.
They're exciting questions. The business world is changing so fast, and it's the people who adapt and embrace technology who will succeed.
And maybe, just maybe, CorporateServe will be right there with them.
It's certainly possible.
And on that note, We'll wrap up this deep dive into the world of corporate serve solutions. We hope you enjoyed the journey and maybe learned a thing or two.
Until next time, keep exploring and never underestimate the power of a good deep dive.